What's the smallest, most annoying thing your partner does? What is that tiny, should be insignificant but really isn't, irritating act that is getting on your nerves? Leaves half-finished glasses of water around the house. It's like living in the movie, Signs. My husband loves to sing. The issue here is that he is tone deaf, and when he sings it sounds like a seagull is being strangled to death. He only does it when he's happy, so I try to not grimace, but man, he is truly terrible at singing. He also never knows the words to songs, so he'll just belt out some random note instead of a word he doesn't know. He's a total goof and I love him. The man does not sit down. He eats standing up. He watches TV standing up. When he's working at his computer, he gets up every few minutes to pace. It's not a big deal for the most part, but it makes me anxious. He leaves dishes to soak for so long, and when I finally wash them, he acts like he wanted to do it. Annoys the shit out of me. He has giant lizard feet. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. His feet are entirely made up of dry-ass lizard skin. And when we watch TV at night he always whips his socks off. Then he sits in his recliner and drags those devilish dipods back and forth over one another. Yes, there he crouches, perched menacingly on his branch. Chair. I mean he sits in his chair. Moving his scaly lizard feet back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, creating a giant pile of dry skin in the floor. And that sound. Dear God, the sound. It's like a dry tree branch on a cheese grater. Shudder. But I'm fine. Everything is fine. He leaves a river on bathroom countertops. I can only figure that he fills both hands with water and pours it on the counter when he goes to get soap, like he's giving an offering to the soap dispenser. Folded hands. I just started putting a towel down where the river usually is. It's not worth bringing up. He's wonderful. Me. Are you hungry? I was gonna make random dinner food for dinner. Husband. That sounds good, but I'm not really hungry right now. Can we eat a bit later? Me. Yay, for sure. When would you like to eat? Husband. How about half an hour? My husband seems to think that dinner just appears in a flash. He refuses to talk to store employees when he can't find something. He'd rather call me and ask what he can buy instead. He makes this loud, CHYEAH sound, like Jay-Z at the beginning of Umbrella, and every time I hear it my brain shrivels in on itself. Update. Since informing him that his exploits have led to one of my highest rated comments, he has doubled the rate of CHYEAH. I am thrilled, as you can imagine. This cracks me up. I love this. My husband says Kanye pepper instead of cayenne pepper unironically, and this reminds me of the same thing. He rips open boxes or bags that have a built-in opening. Leaves toothpaste in the sink. Just wash it down, man. Also leaves wrappers on end tables, candy, string cheese, etc. But he helps a lot in other ways, so I just clean up after him with these two issues. Years ago, an acquaintance of his told him he was a good dancer. Now he thinks he's goddamned Fred Astaire. He dances like a suburban white dad after one too many on Christmas Day. He dances at every available opportunity. Sometimes I wish I could track down that acquaintance and ask him if he's happy with what he's created. He does everything almost violently. Sitting on the couch and wants a bottle of water? Jumps up and practically runs to the fridge, swings it open, then slams it shut. Hasn't been talking but suddenly has something to say? He talks loudly and quickly. Sometimes, it's utterly hilarious. Other times, like when I just got home from work and I'm tired, it drives me up the wall. I think it's just because he's a very high-energy person, and when he decides to do something, he gets it done 10 seconds ago. Edit. Also, the way he puts away dishes. I have to silently tell myself, I love him, at least he tries. I love him, at least he tries. I repeat it over and over while putting things where they actually go. Don't get me wrong, I very much appreciate coming home to a clean kitchen. But oh boy, the mixing bowls do not go with the pots and pans. I always tell my boyfriend he pops up like toast. Literally in the morning his alarm goes off and he stands up out of bed and just is up. He's awake and walking around. That's a superpower I'd like to have. He likes to hold me at night with me facing him. Should be cute, but I cannot breathe when my face is smushed against his chest, shoulder. Leaving his beard clippings in the sink and knowing exactly what I'm about to ask when I walk into the bathroom afterwards and say, "Hey, babe, could you?" Him. "I'll clean up the beard hairs. Just clean your damn clippings before you leave the bathroom, you hairy man beast." Interrupts me when I talk. He just tries to finish my thought or add a story. I stop talking and stare at him till he realizes that he interrupted me. Then he apologizes and has to force himself not to talk. He scratches his balls while he's sleeping. I mean, I love him and I love his balls, but I do not need the soundtrack of my nighttime loving embrace to be the noise of nails against ballsack. Sometimes, my husband will be standing and telling me a story and I literally haven't been able to concentrate on it because he's been violently yanking at his balls since he opened his mouth. I have to stop and I unintentionally end up basically shouting, "Are you okay? What is going on?" He always snaps, "They itch." He eats waffles by cutting it by the lines into 4 giant pieces. He then proceeds to stuff the giant piece in his mouth as a whole bite. He claims that's what the lines are for, but it just makes me feel slightly embarrassed that he can't cut the waffle into smaller bites. I love him, but this is the one thing that always gets under my skin. He's a shout sneezer. My ears start ringing every time he sneezes. My husband leaves his cereal bowl, with milk in it, in the sink, or next to the sink. When confronted about why he doesn't at least dump the milk out and rinse the bowl, he gets a blank look on his face like he had an out-of-body experience and had no recollection of doing it. The most rage-inducing part is that he honestly doesn't do it on purpose and is generally a tidy guy, so I can't even be mad. Laundry takes him 4 to 6 hours every weekend. He monopolizes the washer, dryer from Saturday around 8 a.m. to Sunday evening. It's a huge event that starts on Saturday where he does tons of small loads, each with different products, like bluing liquid for his white undershirts that no one even sees. Sundays he then steams everything. Not just his dress clothes, but also undershirts, casual t-shirts, and jeans. I have even seen him fucking lint roll and steam socks. This requires a big standing steamer, a laundromat-style rolling cart with hangers, multiple laundry baskets, and a rolling hamper with different bins for whites, darks, colors, delicates. He takes up the whole living room with laundry draped on every piece of furniture while blasting Netflix. It takes so long Netflix will be like, "Are you still there?" He is my soulmate and I adore him though. He values precision and has a PhD in engineering, so he never does anything halfway. I wish I didn't have to experience the laundrypocalypse every weekend, but I've learned to turn it into girl time and just stay away from the operation because it is frustrating to watch. He doesn't throw something out when it is very clearly finished. "Oh yeah, there's 2 Cheerios in the bag, let's put it back." There's a minuscule scrape of cream cheese, back into the fridge it goes. It kills me. Weird one. So when he gets something from the fridge that is in a Ziploc baggie, he won't squeeze the air out of the baggies when he puts it back. So our fridge will be full of puffed up baggies of sandwich meat and cheese. It drives me crazy. He also does it with the bread. My husband starts a conversation in his head but only speaks the last half out loud to me and I have no clue what he's on about. I get annoyed as he won't explain but act like I'm the confused one until I pointed out he's done it again. He makes farting noises almost every time you bend down or squat. He leaves toast crumbs in the butter. Well, married for 31 years, so I only wish. However, I get my revenge. I scrape all those crumbs out and throw the wasted butter in the garbage, which drives him crazy. It's a waste. He says, "Yep, it is. And I'll continue doing it as long as you leave those damn disgusting crumbs in the butter." He puts the full garbage bag on our bed while he's tying the top strings. What if it gets a leak? Why do that? Is your bed in the kitchen? I used to get all pissed off when both my ex and my current husband would leave kitchen cabinet doors open. One day we were chatting about each other's pet peeves, and I told him that the cabinet door thing really irked me. He started laughing because I was the one that kept doing it without ever realizing until he pointed it out. Lol. Loses everything. Literally everything. Drives me mad. Wallet? In his other pants. Keys? Left them in the ignition, so I have to get up at 6 a.m. to help him find them. Shoes? Who even knows anymore? Probably under the couch, though he just had them an hour ago. Glasses? Space. Or he left them on the bathroom counter while he showered and forgot to grab them. A couple times they were under the bed, or tangled in the blankets. I don't want to talk about his phone. I love the man, but come on. He sometimes leaves the cabinet slightly open.